Hey everyone, welcome to Find Your Flow. I am Natalie and you're watching Yoga for Lockdown Life. This is also applicable for any moment in your entire life where you just need to take a minute, step back, breathe and move. So hop on your mat and I'll meet you there. Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to jump right on in to find a comfortable seat on our mat. Now, if you have some form of prop or a towel, pillow, cushion, whatever, then I recommend taking it just to help find a bit more space in the hips and a lovely long line in the spine. So arriving here, taking a moment or two to really get situated and comfortable. And then when you come down to the ground, just allow the hands to rest wherever they feel most comfortable. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out the mouth, let it all go. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more time, breathing in fully and out fully. Lovely. Now coming to breathe naturally in and out of the nose and just feel how you feel here. Maybe this is the first time you've been in stillness whilst being awake all day or all week. Notice how it feels. Notice where each part of your body is touching the ground. Notice if there are any areas of tightness or gripping in the physical body that we can help to soften by using our breath and just becoming a little bit more aware of ourselves. It sounds silly, but we're always on autopilot, rushing around. How many times a day do we actually take a moment to stop and check in with how we're doing? From here, bring your right hand and cross it over onto the ribs on the left side. And then left hand crosses over to the right side ribs. And keep on breathing here nice and fully. Spread the fingers wide. And feel beneath the palms. Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it warm? Is it cool? Somewhere in between. And placing the hands on the ribs maybe help us in this upright seat to breathe a little deeper, a little fuller. Don't worry if it doesn't, we're just listening in. Keeping our breath natural, not forced or strained. And being here for 3 more full breaths. Not looking any further than these 3 breaths. Feeling every single one as it comes in and leaves the body. And then when you're ready, place the arms onto the thighs or the knees. Flutter the eyes open and bring the right ear over to the right shoulder. Left ear over to left shoulder. Gaze down, chin towards the chest. And gaze up, chin towards the sky. Come back to gaze forward and jumping right on in, tabletop, all fours. Right, just moving your props if you have one to one side. As soon as we arrive in our tabletop, we'll tuck the toes under. Turn the fingers out to the edges of the mat and then keep rolling them round so fingertips come towards the knees. And then walking the knees towards the fingertips, fingertips towards the knees. And as we sit back onto the feet, keep the palms on the earth. Feel a nice opening through the hands, the wrists, the forearms, but also through the feet. We're giving both the hands and the feet a little bit of love here. Double trouble, double juiciness. And if at any point this feels a little bit too much, just ease off. Nice. Adding a little bit of a rocking here. So we're coming forwards and back slowly. Actually giving back a little bit of the love and attention that our hands and feet deserve. Think about everything that they do for us in our day-to-day lives. One more full breath here. And then lifting up, untuck the toes, just give the feet a little pat out. Release the hands one by one, roll through the wrists as we come to place the palms back down. But then bringing the hands to fists. So we're still strengthening the wrists here, but taking a little bit of pressure off the actual wrist joint itself. And moving into cat pose, so rolling tailbone down, lifting spine to the sky, dropping our gaze. Have a little wiggle here if it feels good. Forward, back, side to side. And then let your breath lead the way as we open into cow pose. Lift the tailbone, tummy down, gaze forwards. Moving here through cat and cow and noticing how it might feel a little bit different with our hands as fists rather than planting the palms on the earth. But being with it as different and accepting it as different rather than labeling it as good or bad. Seeing if we can shift our perspective slightly on the normal that we might be used to. Float back to your tabletop when you're ready. Bring the hands to the earth. Spread the fingers wide. Tuck the toes under. Really keep the arms nice and long, lifting out of the shoulder space so we're not collapsing down into the shoulder joint. And from here, hover the knees off the ground. Keep the jaw nice and soft. Slight hugging in, belly toward the spine, and then release. Nice. Now you know what's coming, no nasty surprises. Lifting off. Keep breathing here fully. And releasing. Nice. One more time. Staying here for one more breath, only one more, I promise. And then knees wide to the ground, toes come to touch, sit back in a child's pose. And if child's pose is not your jam today, no worries. Just come to find any comfortable seat that feels good for you, mindful of the knee space. Find one more breath in Balasana. And then everybody reach the arms forward. Bring the knees back to parallel, tuck the toes, rise, downward facing dog. Our first down dog of our practice. Maybe your first down dog all day, all week, all month, maybe ever. So be mindful here to keep a lovely bend in the knees, to send a little bit more love and length to the spinal space. And just notice how this feels. Pedal the heels, wiggle the hips. Breathe nice and fully. And then we can stay in our downward dog or bring our knees back to the earth in our tabletop. Everybody floating the left leg off the mat behind you. So we're either here in down dog or here in our tabletop. And then bending the knee, step the foot forward and rise into a low or high lunge. Yogi's choice. Back knee can be on the ground or lifted. Choose your own adventure here. Keeping front knee over front ankle. We'll reach fingertips wide and high and then soften the elbows. Find cactus arms. Keeping the arms nice and active here, but mindful that the shoulders aren't creeping up near the ears. Lovely. Find one more breath. And then release both hands to the inside of the left foot. Turn the left toes out to around 10 o'clock and enjoy your lizard pose. Walk the right knee back a little more if it's on the earth. And wherever you are, knee lifted or lowered, we'll enjoy some circles through the left hip space. Try and draw as big a circles as you can here in both directions. Nice. And then come back to center. Either lift to your tabletop with the leg lifted or three-legged dog, left leg back. Nice. Find one more breath wherever you are. And release. Same thing on the other side, right leg high. Nice. Bend the knee, step the foot forward, high or low lunge. Find a nice sturdy foundation in the lower body. We're not just hanging and collapsing into the joints. Everything's super, super active. We reach the hands up. Find your cactus arms. Keep this length through all four sides of the torso here. One more breath. And then release hands down to the ground. Turn the right toes out to 2 o'clock. And enjoy the circles one direction. Knee lifted on the back or lowered. And you're doing this practice in the comfort of your own home more than likely. So there's no competition with anybody, especially yourself. Just do what you feel most comfortable doing right now. And then come back to center. Rise straight into your tabletop with the right leg lifted or three-legged dog. And then plant the right foot down and everybody come to lift into down dog. So tuck the toes under, sit the hips back, send the hips high. Nice. From here, walk hands back to the feet. Find a forward fold. Let the tension melt away from the head and neck. Feel the ground beneath all four sides of the feet, toes lovely and soft. And keeping the arms heavy, we'll slowly roll up to standing. Nice. Head and neck come up last of all, reach the hands wide. And then soften through the shoulders. Keep energy reaching through the fingertips. Find one more breath here. And then release just the right arm. Folding over towards the right side. Take your gaze down to the fingertips or the toes. Soft bend stays in the knees. Find one more breath here. And then lift up with the right hand and release the left hand. Same thing here. Fold over towards the left side. Gaze down. Breathing into that side body space. And then lift all the way up, hands high. This time we're going to dive down to the ground, forward fold. On your next breath in, lift up halfway. Find a lovely long flat back, hands to the tops of the thighs or shins. Exhale, fold forwards. Press down, rise up, rolling into mountain pose. Reach the hands high. This time palms come together down at the heart. Lift the sternum to the thumbs and bend the knees. Sit the hips back, chair pose. And just notice how you feel in chair. Finding the sturdy foundation in the lower body. So toes track forwards, knees bend over the toes. And just adding a little bit more awareness to the pelvic space. So if you want to, you can bring your hands to this space. Notice if we're thrusting our hips forward or sticking our bottom out and finding this space right in the center of these 2 points where our tailbone can stay long through the spine all the way to the crown. Find one more breath here and then fold forwards. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. As we rise up, this time we'll come straight to our chair pose. So knees bent, hands together at the heart. Lovely. Either staying where we are or bringing our weight forwards into our toes, lifting our heels off. Perhaps we sit back a little lower. Nice. Staying here for 3 breaths. Notice where your mind might wander to as I say 3 breaths. Can we keep our mind open? Just being with the breath as it is and then folding forwards. Nice. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to release. Last time, rising straight up into our chair pose. Hands can stay at the heart or opening here into our cactus arms. If we want to work on our weight forward in our toes, we can be here. Or next option, crossing right ankle over the top of the left thigh, sitting back a little lower. And if you're near a wall, a window, anything at all, it can be there for support. Find one more breath on this side and then swap sides. Nice, keeping the heart space open. Mindful we aren't collapsing through the shoulders. Find one more breath here. And release. Nice, fold forwards. Everybody walk the hands into your downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. And then reach left leg off the mat. Bend the knee. Step the foot forward. Everybody this time rising into high lunge. Take your time to grow from your base, your foundation. The right foot steps a little wider, so we have a nice wide stance here. And then reach the fingertips high. Soften through the elbows. Find a deep breath in. And then exhale, plant the back foot to the ground, open into a warrior 2. So our front knee is bent, our back leg's nice and long. Noticing this external rotation in our thighs. Bringing our gaze to our front fingertips as we float the front hand forwards, up and all the way back. Nice. Keeping the lower body exactly where it is, so mindful we aren't collapsing back here. Keep that lovely bend in the front knee. Find a breath. And then release through our warrior 2 straight into a side angle pose. Forearm to the thigh, or bring that left hand down. If you have a brick or block, it can be on there. It can come to the earth. Right fingertips can reach up or forwards. Just listen to where you can find the most space here. Find one more breath. And then lift up into your warrior 2. We're going to pivot our front toes over to the right side. So coming to face long ways on our mat. And when we arrive here, turn both toes out. So we're at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Keeping that external rotation that we found in our warrior 2 as the thighs roll away. We bend the knees and sit back, goddess pose. Either staying here with the hands on the hips for support or lifting into our cactus arms. Nice. And just like we were in our chair pose, becoming a little bit more aware of the pelvic space. If we're thrusting forward or sticking back, finding this space right in the center. Finding one more breath here. And then everybody, take the arms over to the right side. Lengthen the legs, reach fingertips high and then over to the right side. Left side. Moving here in your own time, painting a big rainbow in the sky. One more time in this direction. And then changing sides 3 times this way. Take up as much space as you can here. Find a little wiggle in the fingers. Feel the sturdy foundation beneath both feet. And then come back into your goddess pose. Nice. Find one more breath here. And then release the hands, turning the left toes back forwards into our warrior 2. Open the arms out nice and wide. And then pivot back, heel off the ground, transition to high lunge, float the fingertips up and then down to the ground. Frame the front foot, step straight back, three-legged dog, left leg high. Take one breath here, and then bring left foot to the ground and float the right leg high. Nice, three-legged dog, bend the knee. Step it forwards and rise, high lunge. Take your time to arrive here. Grow from the ground up, soften into cactus arms, and then open warrior two to the left. I'm going to flip side so you're not seeing my back. Nice. Finding your nice sturdy Virabhadrasana 2. When you're ready, gaze forwards, float the front hand forwards up, all the way back, reverse warrior. Breathing into side body space, keeping shoulders soft. Find one more breath. And then floating through warrior two to your version of your side angle pose. Wherever that is for you today, listen to where you can find the most space. Keeping the back leg nice and active, so keep sending away through the knife edge, the outer edge of that back foot. And then lifting up into warrior two. We'll pivot our right foot now over to the left side. Come to find your goddess pose. So situate the feet in a comfortable space, nice distance apart for you. Remember, it'll be different to me probably because I'm only 5'4". So be mindful of that. You might want them wider, you might want them closer together than mine. Roll the knees out, thighs away. Come to sit back, goddess pose, hands to hips or cactus arms. And just feeling how we feel here first. If you feel comfortable, I do invite you to close down the eyes. Feeling a little more into what we feel rather than what we see. And then from here, crossing the arms over, bend down a little lower, and as we rise up, we'll imagine we're taking off a jumper and release. Nice, moving here, all the way down, all the way up, finding space. One more time. Nice. Sitting back in goddess pose. We're actually going to stay here for another 5 breaths, either exactly where we are or lift off the heels onto the toes, sit back a little lower. Nice. Smile and breathe. Smile and breathe. And after your 5th and final exhale, take your time, bring the heels to the ground, warrior two, pivot the right foot out to the front, transition into your high lunge, reach high, and then release. Hands to the earth, step back, three-legged dog, right leg lifts high, and then planting into your downward dog. Find one more breath here. Knees come to the earth, and sit back, child's pose. Much needed child's pose here. So really take your time to make the most of your balasana. If you have any extra support you want to take underneath the hips or the forehead, then go for it. If you do want to find a little more, there's always that option of reaching hands forward, lifting onto fingertips and tenting the palms. Wherever you are, find one more breath. Slowly come to lift up. Keeping the knees wide, feet together. Threading the needle, plant the right palm, reach the left fingertips high. And threading them through and under the bridge of the right arm, come to rest on the left ear And if the left ear doesn't come to the ground, we can use some support. Either staying here with the right hand where it is, or we have the option of reaching it forwards. Maybe reaching it back. Wherever you are, find one more breath. And then press down, rise all the way back up and soften. Same thing on the other side. Left hand plants, right fingertips reach, and then threading it through. Take your own version of the variation in your left arm. One more breath here before pressing down to rise up. Nice. Come to cross the feet and jump through to a seat. This is where we're going to end our practice. So either lifting back up into your supported seat that we started in, or if you'd rather finish lying down on the ground, then be my guest. Wherever you are, come to find your comfortable space, whether your body's completely relaxing onto the earth or you're sitting in this soft yet awake upright position. Let the arms soften wherever they fall naturally. And let the breath also be natural. Take a moment to reflect upon the awesomeness within you. Thank yourself for taking this time to be on your mat with your body, with your mind, with everything as it is right now, with everything that's going on around you. You have carved out this time for yourself to refill your cup. Staying here for as long as you like, breathing deep. But if you have to boogie, bringing palms together at the heart as we bow our head in gratitude for this awesome moment, for our awesome selves. I thank you for being here virtually with me today. From my heart to yours. Take care, stay safe. Namaste.